you guys doing? How are you guys feeling? I already talked about my robe. If y'all don't know, I love my robe, okay? This is my favorite robe. And I'm wearing it. I have time. I'm over here. Y'all, I've been over here having a good old little vibe. Been sipping, y'all know I don't drink. But I've been sipping a little wine and just vibing and feeling myself and, blasting my little slow jams and R&B and reading and stuff. So I'm like, I have to get this video to y'all. I'm in such a great mood. Y'all, okay, I'm here. Let's talk about Jess Hilarious. Jess Hilarious. It's just hilarious, okay? Now, I'm going to get serious. Let's say you work at a corporate job, right? You apply for the job. The other candidates apply for the job, right? Y'all all apply for the job, right? And they decide you get the job. You're on the job, you get the job, you sign the contract. Unbeknownst to you, you're pregnant, but you don't know it, right? Sign the contract, agreed, and then oops, you're pregnant. So you tell the job, hey, I'm pregnant. At some point, I'm going to have to go on leave because you're pregnant. But while you're there was a girl that, connected with you, and she's a fellow black girl. You're a black girl, or if you're an Indian person, they're an Indian person, whatever. Y'all share the same nationality or background somehow. And you feel like, man, I want to give this girl a chance. While I'm absent, y'all have to pick one of the people that was out here, applying for the position while I'm absent. Why don't you give this, girl a second chance? Put her on just temporarily, while I'm going, you giving her a chance. While I'm going on administrative leave, I'm going to give her a chance, right? So you offered an opportunity, because after that, she would have been gone. She would have never had an opportunity to be looked at anybody. You gave her airtime. You know what I'm saying? It could have been Claudia Jordan. It could have been anybody else, but you gave her airtime. You see what I'm saying? And you saw potential. Because for you to still be in my seat after, me giving you a visual, I see you as an entrepreneur. I see you doing your big one. I see you doing your things. I think you're dope. So, of course, I'm going to give you an opportunity. They could have been anybody. Could have been Claudia Jordan. Could have been anybody. But I'm giving you a chance because obviously I see something in you. I believe in you. So I give you my chair. You do so well that everybody else likes you after this opportunity. They like you. They think you're amazing. They think you're dope, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm back. Now I'm done having my baby. After I'm done from being pregnant, right? And I have my baby, whatever. I sit down. I say, hey, hi. Now I offered you this opportunity, right? This is me coming back. First time you see me, whatever. I see you. And the first thing you say to me is, did you see them in the comments talking about, how, hey, they want me to stay and and I'm like, first thing you say is, you ain't hear them in the comments saying, oh, they want me to stay, they want me to, all the comments, the people in the comments saying this. I would be like, girl. First thing I would say is, first thing I would feel, not even say, because I probably wouldn't say anything. This is my job, it's public, everybody here, I wouldn't say anything. But I would feel a way because I gave you an opportunity. The first thing you need to say, congratulations, Jess, you're back. First of all, thank you for giving me your seat, giving me this opportunity. I appreciate you doing that. And, you giving extra eyes on me. I just started a new business because Black Girl Grinding is a new business, and I appreciate you extending that because they had already chose you. You were already chosen. You were the hottest thing. They wanted you. The fact that you extended your chair to me is a blessing. You know what I'm saying? And that would be my energy, first of all, and I would house the baby, house the family, house everything. But Lauren was more so focused on herself. Me. I was focused on, oh, they like me. I feel like Lauren could have been better.
Is like that. Yeah. That's why I picked her to fill in for me for maternity leave. This woman every day. Every day. I don't have no reason to fucking hate on that girl. I don't. No, I didn't like her when I came back because I'm like, all right, what's going on? What's going on? She knew it. We had a conversation. Because the anger was misplaced. Nah, it ain't even you that I don't like. I'm realizing this is the way these niggas is doing shit up here that I don't like. Okay, got it. Now, it's her segment. I went to the person who does the intros, the sounds. I went to Taylor. Yo, Taylor, make Lauren her intro. Take Jess with the mess, all that shit. She says, things can't just change like that. Why the fuck not? Why not? Y'all changing everything else, and I'm the only one that don't know. My goofy ass don't know nothing. I'm just coming to work every day, just zippity-doo-dah-day. And you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, take my name out that shit. Jess with the Mess is not at Breakfast Club. I'm Jess Hilarious up here. Fuck, I'm Jessica Moore up here. Jess with the Mess is not being done. LaRosa is doing the shit. So that need to be her segment. I fought for that segment. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? While her fans and her people and the Breakfast Club people and the people in the comments, man, I'm not ready to sit up here and act like I don't see that shit. Are y'all crazy? One thing I ain't never tried to do is act unbothered unless shit never bothered me. Man, what? You try coming back to work. You try to come back to work, and the motherfucker is right there at your desk, and ain't nobody telling you shit, mind you. Nobody telling you nothing, mind you. Before you know it, everybody thinking you're the villain. Like I'm the villain, cause I didn't know shit. I'm sick of that. I'm very, very sick of that. I'm sick of the shit. It's weird. It's weird. I don't fuck with it. Just be quiet up there. I'm not fighting over no mic space. I'm not fighting over no mic. That's why I went from shut up and hush to not saying nothing. No. I'm not gonna compete where I already won this competition. I didn't know it was supposed to be 4. If this was presented to me, prior to hire, then I wouldn't have been so shocked. Like, oh shit, all right, cool. So when we bringing in the 4th person, shit, that's what's up. Cool. It's only time for that segment. You know what I'm saying? We had a meeting today to restructure the show and shit like that. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. That went crazy too. Listen. It's a lot of shit. It's a lot of things that I deal with. I ain't expecting not one motherfucker to feel sorry for me, because that's not what I'm looking for. I don't care. And I haven't said a motherfucking thing. At all. At all. I haven't said anything. This is the crazy thing, yo. I'm gonna let y'all know this. The craziest shit is, right? I wanted Breakfast Club so bad. I wanted it. I grew up on the show. The fuck? Like, what? Hall of Fame show? What are we talking about? Syndicated? This ain't my first time doing radio, but I'm just saying, like, this is the biggest fucking show culturally. You know what I'm saying? I was eating that shit up the whole year I co-hosted. Eating that shit up until I had to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a baby. In this industry, what I'm doing ain't no right time to have a baby, so you have them when you have them. I don't regret when I got pregnant. I don't. I got pregnant on fucking purpose. That's what I wanted, a baby, and that's what I got. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted Breakfast Club. You feel me? And I'm gonna say this. I don't fucking need to be there. I wanted to be there. I loved being there. That was my shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, that was my shit. I used to be happy as a motherfucker on the radio. Yeah, definitely. I'm not intimidated by no woman walking on this earth. I give a crown to that girl. If you listen to the show, you know. Nigga talking about she tried to be my friend. Excuse me? Ain't nobody trying to be no motherfucking friends. What are we talking about? We just naturally, organically became cool. Once I realized what the fuck was going on, like I said, my anger was misplaced. No, I did not like her when I first came back. I didn't. Even down to how I was supposed to return. Like, we had a whole plan on how I was supposed to come back. When I walk in the room, she never left. First thing she say is not, how your baby doing? No, that was envy. because he's the family man, right? How was maternity leave? No. That's not the first. The first thing that she talks about is the shit that was in the comments. What the fuck would make me want to talk about the fucking comments first? I got a beautiful baby at home. Why? You know what I'm saying? So no, I did not like her when I first came back. I had to learn that Lauren was not a spiteful person. Like, I'm like, I don't like the way you moving. I don't like, I ain't feeling this shit. We had a whole nother plan. I don't know what the fuck what that was in there, but that shit wasn't it. I ain't like that. We've made cool since then. That's it. Right? I compliment this girl every fucking day. Every day. And it ain't forced. She's a beautiful girl. She knows her shit and she on her shit. And that segment came from me. Like, let's not even sit here and fucking play around with it. Like, this the crazy thing. This is another crazy thing. We supposed to be a team up that bitch. Not one person comes to my defense at all. Like, when I'm like, not one motherfucker ever with this online shit. Like, why the fuck should we have to keep playing it? Man, listen, I know one thing. Angela Yee ain't that motherfucking crazy.
Well, I would say this. When I initially left, they did say they were going to hire 2 people. So that was always the plan. So, I'm going to be honest, I don't know what's communicated to anybody. I know Jess was out on maternity leave. And I know that's tough, too, coming back. I know she's expressed, having a baby, postpartum, all of those things take a toll. And Lauren works really hard. And Jess does, too. Like, she's on the road. And I think part of why they hired her was because of that. Like, she does comedy shows. She goes on the road. That adds a lot to the show.
Has a strong following.
Yeah. But I think a lot of times it is social media that tends to get people riled up. It's outside forces. It's not what's in the room, and that's what makes tension sometimes build. But what is good is when you can have a blow up and then work through it. And so we just have to see it publicly play out. But I think it looks like they're really working through it. And I feel like this can be an advantage because a lot of people can relate to blow-ups in the workplace, and then how do you move forward from that? Because sometimes the resentment can just build and build and build, and then everything falls apart. But if you can catch it early on, that's a good way to make sure, let's squash this.
So if you knew that they were going to the 2 people or 2 women model, I don't know if it was 2 women, but 2 additional people, how is it that that didn't get communicated to Jess Hilarious, or at least it appears that way?
Well, I'm not sure what they communicated, but I know the plan always was, even when I was there, they were like, we should add another person.
Okay.
And so it was always like, okay, we're going to hire 2 people. And I feel like they've said that. So I'm not sure what was said.
They both did. They both kind of mentioned that this was always a part of the original plan. Somehow it was a shock factor.
Something got lost in the sauce.
There was a breaking down of communication, and then she ended up blaming Charlemagne and of course DJ Envy for not protecting her in that moment. But then she pointed back to you.
Yeah.
Why did she do that?
She just said I'm not crazy, and I knew that.
but what was she alluding to?
You know what? I saw her one time. We had like a women's event, and we didn't even have a chance. It was all the women at iHeart, so we haven't really had a chance to even break it down. I think she meant it more as a compliment, like Angela is not crazy, because people thought I was crazy for leaving the show. Sometimes people think as the woman you're the problem, and so when something like this happens, it's like she's not crazy. Like people, who knows who said that? But
yeah, I thought she was alluding to the fact that maybe you went through something similar behind the scenes, and you could relate. And hey, she's not crazy, and I'm not either. That's how I took it.
All of us took it that way. We were just like, wait, how did Angela get involved in this?
Right.
We
I
love
don't know. I haven't even had a chance. We saw each other. We were doing like these little group sessions, and we were like, we'll talk later. And
I'm sure you guys will
then I
brunch
left to go to
very
Memphis.
Yeah, I hope that conversation happens, because I think both women are equally talented in their own,
They
arena.
bring something different to the table. I think Jess is hilarious, and then Lauren is a journalist. So I think if they can figure out how to balance those things, and sometimes it's also the conversation of, okay, when do I jump in? Because I also think it's important before a break to sit down and be like, okay, this is what we're about to talk about. What's your point of view? What's your point of view?
We do that every day.
We do that every single
I don't know
day.
that they aren't doing that, but I think maybe that has to be something that's even more ingrained.
But then we're collaborating and not competing.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
And one of the things that came out of this is just the conversation around, should people in workspaces, particularly 2 black women coming together, should this have been done on air? Should this have been or on social media? Should this have been a private conversation?
I feel like on The Breakfast Club, they do like things to play out on air. And so that's an argument that can be had, but it's also part of, I think, the allure of the show has always been people feeling like part of it. And so that show's been around for, 14 years now, 15 years. And so I think that part of what people like is they feel like we want to see the inside workings of what's happening.
Yeah,
and
breaking
so
that fourth
there's nothing
wall.
more inside. And then I think also Jess publicly put out her live, and so that is what is the reason why. How do you not address it at all?
That's right.
Because you can't just move on, and people are like, what happened? Well, let's let it play out.
Got it. Well, thank you for sounding out. Let's
Let's
the Queen, too.
The Queen. They needed 2 people to fill your...
Not as crazy as niggas try to make out to be. Nah, it's the reason that lady wanted to leave that show. I don't know how she did that shit for 13 years, my nigga. I'm telling you. I don't give a fuck. Y'all already know what's up with me. I feel played with, I'm gonna play with niggas. Like, that's just like, come on. I've been quiet a lot. If Jess Hilarious is quiet, it's a motherfucking reason. I always got my motherfucking mouth open. All the time. Whether it's something y'all want to hear or it's something that y'all ain't gonna want to hear. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. Didn't go live to talk about that retired ass nigga. Who still think he not retired. Nigga, you ain't doing nothing. And honestly, if he didn't hate me so much, I would actually agree with some shit that he was saying. I would. The girl is great at what she do. Lauren with the latest is flawless. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. She got that. I fought for that. The fuck is we talking about? I don't know how long it's going to take for a motherfucker to confirm that. But yeah, it's like that. I started saying shit on air. Like I said, I don't know if y'all really listen to, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all really listen to that shit 6 a.m. or wherever. Yeah. I advocated for that. Get that shit to her. Get that segment to her, man. That girl do what she do. She do it great. She was doing it great at TMZ. She doing it great up the Breakfast Club. I also been said that she did great during the co-hosting year too. Said that. Along with Claudia Jordan and Jason Lee. I also said that. Okay? Stop trying to make me out to be the villain. Or like I'm the fucking hater or something. I ain't never gonna hate on no fucking woman. Ever. No. Now listen. I may not say everything that y'all, I may offend women here and there. I offend men here and there. I offend others here and there, Okay. Y'all ain't going to agree with everything I say and do, but I am never going to hate on a woman, especially if she got it going on. Yeah, I'm not. And Lauren LaRosa got it going on. She did. You know what I'm saying? I tell her that. Ask her. I don't know if she'll say it online. She thanks me on air, but she don't thank me online. I don't, you know what I'm saying? And I guess, shit a little different, online. But if niggas is a team, if we supposed to be a team, how about y'all clear some of this shit up for y'all teammate? This shit is ran like a high school. Yeah. It's ran like a high school. It is. Fair East Side High. Fair East Side High. Before Mr. Clark, though. Like when he first got there. Y'all want a bitch to keep her cool. Look, check this out, y'all. Look, man. I get up every fucking day. Every day. And they always talk about, you ain't at work. Yeah, bitch, I started picking up more shows. Hell no. That's how I'm getting. Hell no. I have more fun outside the fucking studio than I have in there now. Is you crazy?
She could have been more of a girl's girl. This is I'm sorry to take it there, but this is the Nicki Minaj, Lil' Kim, Cardi B fight all over again. It is. It's the argument all over again. It's when you're here, you're the new girl. Show me my credit, because I didn't create you, but I had an impact on you, and I helped you. You know what I'm saying? Get to where you was at, even if it's just simple inspiration. I created a wedge for you to do the things that you're doing. So show me love. And that's what Jess is saying.
When you have two black women, right, it is not a compliment to compliment one person and down the other. I've been getting a lot of that, like, oh, you doing good and I don't like this about Jess, and I hate that. Yesterday we were out and majority of the people I ran into, Jess with the mess in her news is real.
How you doing, girl? It's time.
Okay, you back?
For me to be back.
You ready?
Yeah,
Jess is back!
Hello.
You ready?
Yes.
girl. Let's get it.
Not the telemarketer chair.
What's up, Jess?
I mean, I don't want the baby shower chair back, but this.
Hello, Jessica Robin.
Hey,
Jess.
baby.
Welcome back. Drop a bomb for
So,
Jess.
no,
Drop
y'all
two
don't
of them.
do
Drop two of them.
Oh,
that's right. You know, she don't do those
No,
headphones.
I don't do that.
No, she need the earbuds.
I need the earbuds.
Oh,
I need the,
you
Don't mess up her hair.
headphones.
These your
Do I got
purse?
mine? No, this is my mom cozy because I breastfeed and I pump. So
Okay.
this is my new purse.
What the hell was y'all even talking about before she walked in?
Who, me and her?
Yeah.
We were talking about a lot. And before you walked in, we was talking about it here on air. The first thing that I brought up was yesterday we was out at Sim Simmons' birthday party, and I ran into so many people, and this happens to me all the time, and I tell people, you don't have to down just to compliment me, and I hate that narrative, us versus each other. And I feel like a lot of times when people see two women that can do things really, really well, it's always like you got to pick a side.
Yeah.
And what we have been able to, and I think people know that we've had conversations, and I thank you so much for just giving that chair and opening up that chair, because women in this industry don't do that. Like, you don't give your chair to another woman.
No.
So I want to talk about that, and I also want to, have a conversation about, we're going to get into you and how you've been, but I also want to have a conversation about,
You look good. Who is that? Jess glowing. You see Jess glowing? Jess glowing.
Why would he say who is that like he don't know that you're glowing?
You know, my haters see me. You know what I'm saying?
My haters see me.
You got
Jess glowing.
Wait, because yesterday too we supposed to go out to dinner. Sis said I had to get myself together. I said, I know that's right.
I know, right?
And you look good.
You still owe me dinner, but
We
it's
gonna do
okay.
that. We gonna do that. But I want to get into you, so you can start wherever you want. That's what we were talking about before you came in. That's what we had a conversation about. Where do you want to start?
Can I just ask how you doing, Jess? How you feeling? We ain't seen your ass in a long time.
I know. I've been.
It's saying that don't just be so hooked on what you can get from me to get to you want me to say something about the comments, you want to create something, or you know what I'm saying? Why is that negativity your first reaction, your first negative, you know what I'm saying? You want to go back and forth. Why is that your energy? Why isn't it all positive vibes? Why isn't it, hey girl, I'm glad to see you, be a girl's girl, support me? But Lauren was more so focused on the comments, the things that people were saying, blah blah blah. And now Jess is speaking about the comments, and everybody is saying, screw them comments, F the comments, why you in the comments? When I first came back from maternity leave, the first person that was speaking about the comments was Lauren. Why y'all didn't tell her, F the comments, screw the comments, don't talk about the comments? Now it's me. Y'all want me to ignore the comments don't matter. Point blank period. But like when I first came back, that was the first thing Lauren said to me, which was gaslighting. Now y'all want to gaslight me and say it didn't matter, but that was what was being brought up to me consistently. And I don't like the fact that everybody look at the comments, okay? That's just point blank period. I'm a content creator when I'm on Facebook, Rumble, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on anything that I'm on, I'm looking at the comments. Because I care about what people who are consuming my comments have to say about my comments. I'm not going to sit up in here and act as though I do not value what my audience has to say. You wouldn't be a good creator if you did not value what your audience has to say. So when they try to flip it and say, stay out of the comments, no. And Jess is not saying that she created Lauren. She's not saying that. What she is saying is, first and foremost, you are going to acknowledge that I gave you an opportunity. You would have never got that extra time for people to take a second look at you. Because when me and you went up and we was neck and neck and we was on equal playing ground, they picked me. I got pregnant. Because I got pregnant, I extended my opportunity to you. My opportunity. I was looking out for another black girl and I offered you an opportunity. Don't spit in my face now that you got the opportunity. Point blank period. And if you are the producer now, why are you on air? I'm not competing with the producer. Sincerely. If you're producing, you give ideas, you're not on air. You're behind the scenes. But you're out here, and I feel as though my segment, Just With The Mess, they're extending it to you. If you're gonna be here, give Black Girl Grinding celebrity topics. Give you your own title. You know what I'm saying? I was doing Just With The Mess on Instagram. I was doing my thing on Instagram. I was gaining my support on Instagram, and it was cool. But now I'm here, and they're allowing me to do it here. We're not gonna say Just With The Mess and Lauren LaRosa is covering it. It sounds like trash. Okay, sounds like some mess from corporate. And she not wrong for saying these things. I'm sorry. I don't think Jess is wrong. Everybody gaslit her as though the comments don't matter. Well, if the comments don't matter, why Lauren bring it up the first time she come back? And then the whole shut up thing. I understand that Lauren is a grown woman, right? I understand that, right? I understand that she's a grown woman, and she said that she always checks on Jess. They have that sort of friendship, and they cool, and they, whatever, right? Lauren got all this smoke for Jess saying shut up to her, right? But where was all this smoke? Where was all this smoke when Charlamagne saying she ain't got no man, she's this and she's that, and always cracking little jokes about her. Where was all this smoke for the guy Gary Owens, who came at her sideways, and this black girl don't like me, and she was saying all type of crazy things about her? Where was all this smoke? Don't give it to me, because now you got the people on your side, so now you want to take shots at me. Don't give it to me now, because that wasn't the energy at all with anybody else. And these people done talked about you. Now you got the people on your side concerning me. You want to act like that's the vibe. No. I ain't feeling that. I don't think Jess is wrong. I think Jess is valid in how she feels. And I like that Jess brought it up and spoke up for herself. Because if we're keeping it a buck, right? Angela Yee been saying different things about the Breakfast Club, okay? She said she wasn't supported at the Breakfast Club. People got stuck on the producer part. There are black producers, blah, 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 blah. She didn't feel supported by the Breakfast Club, point blank period. She didn't really like Leonard at all. She felt like he was always throwing her out there when she had beef with certain people. The K. Michelle situation, when she and K. Michelle got into it, Leonard didn't have her back. Leonard was over here interviewing Gucci Mane after Gucci Mane then said he piped Angela Yee. So if we're keeping it a buck and keeping it real, she didn't like Leonard because Leonard tried to make dry humor out of everything. You know what I'm saying? And it's actually passive aggression. You know what I'm saying? He's being petty and stuff, but he hides behind dark humor, and everybody like okay? It wasn't cool. So she had valid points. And I understand Lauren trying to get ahead, but don't do too much, because it's the people you see while you on your way up gonna be the same people you see on your way down, boo. So don't do it nasty. Be respectful, especially as women, because woman to woman, we can be respectful to each other and handle things, and you have to be mindful. Don't only put your career first, yourself first, because I'm trying to get ahead too, and I'm trying to do my thing too, but I gave you an opportunity, you trying to crush mine so you could be ahead of me. That ain't how we do it. That's not cool, period. But that's just my opinion on it. Yeah, I always like when I give y'all my opinion, so I'm giving my opinions. I love you guys to pieces, but that's all I gotta say about that topic. I love y'all, and bye-bye.
It was the same company. At the time, I was doing my single show. So there was plans of, I knew my time in Chicago was done. Like, it was time for me. Either I was quitting and going to California. Obviously, when the Breakfast Club came about, it's like, wait a minute. Okay, let me get into this and see what this is about. And just being fully transparent and honest, I was getting a lot of pushback as just filling in, like guest co-hosting. And they had a schedule, and I was fighting to get a chance to guest co-host.
Right.
And then, it became very apparent that, they ain't really considering me for this job.
Really?
And, oh, yeah, really.
Was it like how they were treating you?
Well, okay, let's just give the true story. The day I got to finally guest co-host.
Because you're really close with Charlamagne. That's how I know you for the most part. That's how we've met.
Right.
Yeah.
We haven't talked in a while. Big ups to Charlamagne. But during this time period, I was supposed to guest co-host. I had a day. They said the night before that I wasn't going to get, not Charlamagne, but the program director.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be able to guest co-host because things changed. Things do happen in radio. They have pre-recorded interviews. But I was able to come in the next morning and still just do some talk breaks with Envy. Well, when I went in the next morning, Jess Hilarious was there. Deserves to be her job. Like, this is nothing about her at all, right? So I want to make that clear. I think she was an excellent choice. But still, with that being said, as a company employee, I wasn't really given an opportunity to even guest co-host, really, according to, and they would say, you were on the list, we were going to get to you. This is where the boss, Kendra, comes in. You can't get to me. Like, if I'm watching for 2 months, people getting a chance to guest co-host, and I work for the company, and I got to wait, that's not going to happen. So literally...
Let me throw this in there, too, because a lot of times, and we would have some of this dissent within the company, because we were all the same company, even though it was different cities. We always felt like being in Chicago, okay, you got New York, you got LA, then it's our turn.
Right.
So if
Because it's the third largest.
Right. So if you saw
market.
people coming in from a smaller city, smaller part, you feel like, how did they get ahead of me?
But I don't even feel that way. I feel like you got to deserve everything, right? You have to earn it. So you don't just get it just because this is a business. It's a numbers game.
Right.
I get all that. So I don't take that part personal.
Okay.
I do take guest co-hosting when they were going through that time period. Like, I wasn't given the fair opportunity during that time period. They would say we were going to get to you. So it wasn't like you were going to get a chance to guest co-host. But literally, after that experience, I did it. And again, because I know this might go viral. Shout out to Jess Hilarious. That's your job. You kill it. I've always loved you. But I quit after that. Literally.
So that was the final show.
I was done. Like, that Friday, I had to go back to do one more episode in Chicago. It was May 1st, and I was going to Italy for my birthday, and I knew I was not returning. And I sent my resignation letter while I was in Italy, and I never went back.
And did they try to stop you from leaving?
Well, you gotta think about it. People I'm the underdog. Like, I left. I was in contract. So I left 6 months before my contract, but I didn't get no severance package. I didn't get no unemployment. So they're like, okay, girl, I walked away from it. It's like, don't hold me to my contract. I'm not gonna hold y'all to anything. And I left and I moved to Beverly Hills, California, and I started my own company and my own
bought
thing.
a Rolls Royce, and that was all she wrote.
Well, now they couldn't afford it. Now they couldn't afford me. But I do want to say this: life played itself out the way it was supposed to play itself out. I mean, listen, we worked in radio, right? So I'm not gonna lie, that was an emotional time, right? It's like I worked this hard and I don't get my fair shot to get in the game. Like, put me in the game, coach. But I do think that, you know, big ups to them. They're a very successful show. I think Jess
that we beat in mostly every market.
Oh, hey, you.
Okay.
Wait.
That's family though. That's always gonna be family. Regardless, we ain't got to speak every day. That's always gonna be family.
But I think
we be beating them.
We do.
I just thought that, this is a slam dunk. Me and Envy went to college together. Me and Charlamagne are great friends. The program director went to the same college. I work for the company. This is Michael Jordan on the basketball field with no players. You know, but there was like so much things weren't aligning. So then you just gotta let God be God, right? And God redirected my whole life. But luckily, I was prepared, because if I wasn't prepared, I would have had to sit there and dealt with it and said like, okay, I'll just wait my turn until y'all give me my shot. But I already decided, no, I'm gonna give myself my own shot. I'm gonna control my destiny.
You bossed that.